Welcome back to Temeron's Tactics. This is AI War Fleet Command Gameplay Tutorial Part 31. In Jetherfen, every 15 minutes this missile is spawning at this 9-Zool Rocketry Corp silo. It makes its way right over here and is immune to the missiles which are fired at it until eventually it gets right up to here and is destroyed and destroys all these turrets. This has happened a number of times this game and I've just kind of ignored it, but it just happened just a second ago, and all of these are currently ruins, which makes now the perfect time to resolve this because we won't be rebuilding them that one extra time. Okay, so let's go ahead and fix it. Over here is the rocketry silo. Now, the missile that comes out of the silo is immune to a lot of types of ammunition, like missiles and snipers, okay, but it's not immune to lasers. So I'm going to hit B to build something, go to my turrets tab, and I'm going to grab all of my laser turrets and I'm going to position them so that they are just barely touching that rocketry silo. And I'm going to put the full complement of laser turrets right here. Okay. Every 15 minutes that missile will spawn, and now it'll just move a few, just barely out of it, and it'll be destroyed, saving me the agony of rebuilding these turrets over and over again. That's the last time that'll happen. Okay. Should have fixed that a long time ago. I'm glad we've got it out of the way now. So now that that's fixed, let's go ahead and grab our fleet. We're going to move them forward. We've got 2,000 ships inside of our transports ready to launch our attack on Sholancde and Chejapar. So let's go ahead and move forward to Venumity here so we can prepare for that. Now, you may recall, if I go to the last scouted here, I'm going to go to the last scouted display on the map. We've had scouts in Zinglin and Kalail, as well as in Sholancde and Chejapar many times, and they keep destroying those scouts, which are normally cloaked and invulnerable, okay? And the reason that they're doing that is that they have EMP Guardians patrolling around the areas nearby their homeworlds, okay? EMP Guardians are kind of a nasty little ship. Every time it exits a system through a wormhole, it does a planet-wide EMP blast, which stuns everything on the planet for 30 or 40 seconds or so, depending on the mark level of the EMP Guardian. Okay. The trick, though, is that if they exit and then just come right back in, or if there's a couple of them that are sort of patrolling back and forth and they keep exiting, those EMP blasts will stack, and you'll find yourself chain stunned and completely annihilated without firing a shot if they line up just so. Okay, so in order to make sure that that does not happen, we need to get some scouts into Sholancde there and wait for that EMP Guardian to appear and then carefully wait for the correct moment to strike it. All right, let's go ahead and unpause. I'm going to wait for those transports to get up into the enemy territory through Hasbang. These Dysons are still being fired on by those turrets, but there's an eye here, so I don't want to deal with it. The eye could potentially make more trouble than I would resolve by destroying those turrets. So we're just going to skip that. Now that they're here, let me go ahead and move them nearby the Sholancde gate. And then once they're there, there's a warhead just blew up. That's fine. Our ships are immune to area damage. No big deal. Once they're there, we're going to go ahead and unload our ships. And then we're going to get a scout into the neighboring system of Sholancde. Now that our ships are out of the transports, I'm just going to grab the Tier 1 scouts, hit L a bunch of times until I just have one, and I'm going to send a single Tier 1 scout through the Sholancde gate. As soon as it's through, I want the rest of my scouts to sort of sit over here nearby the gate, and then we also need to reload our transports with all of our military units very quickly here, okay? We need to get it all set up so that we can do a quick strike once we're ready to go. I'll drag a box around this group without holding control, so it only selects the military units, and then we're going to ask them to get into these transports. Now that all of the transports are loaded up, I want them right on top of the Sholancde gate. So I'm just going to right-click the gate so that they just rally right on top of it. We're also going to grab the mobile space docks and the engineers, and I suppose the scout starships and the 9-Zool ship as well. Okay, I'm going to put them as group 2 by pressing Control 2, and I'm going to also put them directly on top of the Sholancde gate. Let's go ahead and send our camera through. Now soon, some ships will come through, and one of them may be an EMP Guardian. And if that's the case, it's going to blast this system with a EMP strike, which will decloak and stun all human ships on this planet. The EMP Guardian has that effect whenever it enters or leaves a system through a wormhole. Looks like a train is just coming in here. There's a train station nearby. We're just kind of watching and waiting for those ships to come in. And as soon as that EMP Guardian makes an appearance, we're going to jump it. We're going to try to get in there and intercept it before it's able to leave this system and enter the Chajopar gate. Thankfully, the trains have all exited. There's some ships. There's the EMP blast. You saw it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pause. The EMP Guardian had just entered when I paused it. There it is right there. It hasn't even quite materialized yet, but that's the EMP Guardian right there. If we look in the bottom left at the info card, it has a medium hull. It has 40,000 health. The group speed is 22, which is the speed of a bomber, so the whole speed of this fleet is moving pretty slowly. It's a quick mid-power Guardian that lets off a planet-wide burst of EMP that only affects human ships, stunning all of the non-EMP immune human ships on the planet for a bit when it enters or emerges from any wormhole. So like 18 seconds or something like that. It depends on the mark level of the EMP Guardian. This is a Mark II, okay? So it's anywhere between like 15 and 40 seconds or something like that. But here's the catch. If it leaves the system and then just turns right back around and that's the end of its patrol route and then it turns back around and comes back into the system again, those EMP blasts will stack the amount of time that you're paralyzed. And if a couple of EMP Guardians catch your fleet and they're entering and leaving the system simultaneously, it can chain stun your fleet to the point where you're wiped out without having fired a single shot. The EMP Guardians are very, very dangerous. So now that we see it, now we need to very, very quickly act to destroy it before it's able to leave the system through this Chajopar gate. So we're going to go back to Venumity. We're going to grab our transports and ask them to go through the gate. That's all of our military units. We're also going to grab Group 2, which I assigned it to just a moment ago. It's the Mercenary Enclave ship, the 9 mobile space docks, the 15 engineers, and our scout starships, which will provide counter sniper coverage. And I'm going to move them all into the Sholancde gate as well. I'll send the camera through and unpause just for a moment. As soon as those transports appear and those space docks appear, I'm going to grab those transports, move them right in front of this Chajopar gate. Right here, okay? Then we're going to grab those space docks, reset them so that we're sure that they're all on the same page. Click this repeat twice so we can make sure that none of them are in non-loop mode. And then we'll add all 4 of those 9 Zool rail pods to the queue. Now you can see we don't have any available. The reason for that is because all 768 of our rail pods have just been sitting here in Murdoch waiting for an enemy ship to arrive so that they can destroy themselves by firing at it. That still hasn't happened, and that was like a half hour ago or something. So I'm going to actually just delete these. It's unfortunate to delete 768 of your own ships, but we need them somewhere else this second. So I'm going to do exactly that, okay? We're going to go back here to Sholancde. We'll grab those 9 space docks, and we can see now that they have, just under 800 ships ready to build for us. So those will help an awful lot in this attack against these ships down here. I'll unpause. Those docks are going to dance for a moment. Now that our transports are there, I'm going to unload the transports. We'll unpause for just a second, and then I'm going to pull those transports back just a little bit, okay, so they're not in front of everything. There we go. Now we're going to grab all of these military units, not the transports, of course, and we're going to issue an attack move order towards the enemy fleet, right there. And we'll see that the fleet now jumps on those ships, okay? The rail pods are certainly helping us to destroy them before they get too far through here, okay? Now the objective is to destroy of course, the AI Guardian, the EMP Guardian. So let's select it. I'm going to zoom really far in, all the way. I'm going to left click it so that we can see it. Okay, there it is. Let's grab, it has medium hull. If you look on the info card on the right side, it says hull medium in white, right? So we want to grab the ships that are good against medium ships and use that to attack it. That's our fighters. We have 372 fighters right on top of it. So I'm going to grab those fighters and I'm going to specifically right-click the EMP Guardian, which is only at 42% health now, by the way. So let's go ahead and do that. I'll unpause. And hopefully they'll be able to turn their attention to it and destroy it before it's able to actually leave the system. I'll pause. It's very, very close now. It's down to 14% health. Let's reissue that attack order just to make sure they're actually doing it, okay? I'll unpause. And success. We were able to destroy the EMP Guardian before it reached the Chajapar gate. Excellent. Now that we've destroyed the EMP Guardian, that approach to Chajapar is going to be much easier to handle. Okay, so let's go ahead and well, as long as all of our ships are here, let's go ahead and just sort of clear out Sholancde. Okay, we're already sort of doing it. We've got all the rail pods here. Okay, so close enough. Now that virtually every single one of our ships is ready to go, let's just go ahead and grab our transports, and we're going to move them out of the system back to Venumity. Okay. We'll go ahead and leave the rail pods here for a moment so that they can just whittle away at these enemy defenses. Okay, but that was a very successful operation, and now we should go ahead and grab all of our scout starships. You just got an achievement for losing a lot of ships is what that was. So let's grab our starships, the scout starships, and reconnoiter them with our fleet. We also see that we don't have a scout in the system right now, so let's go ahead and grab one of our numerous scouts that are on this warp gate and send one of those tier 1 scouts back through by hitting L a bunch of times and then control right-clicking the gate. There we go, and there's our vision back in Sholancde. Okay? So again, you're watching Temeron's Tactics. My name is Temeron. Please make sure to subscribe to my channel and stay tuned for the continuation of this gameplay tutorial series.